In this little section I'd like to talk a bit about geometry and a very simple tool that will help us to learn some geometric ideas and principles. Now, the tangram is often a piece that's just used for puzzles, and yet it's got a lot of potential in the teaching of geometry. One of the issues, of course, is I often see them just thrown into a bucket and you can't work out what's what. So I always like to have different coloured tangrams, and I like to keep them individually packaged so it's easy to start a session. So let's just look at the tangram itself. Before we do much work with the tangram, there's a lot of language to be developed from the use of the tangram pieces. As I said, quite often they're just used as a puzzle piece. So just to make it a bit simpler, I often tell children just to focus on the triangles that we have. So let's just have a look at the triangles. There's 5 triangles in a 7-piece tangram set. So there they are. And there's some things that you'll notice about those triangles. So they aren't just triangles, they're a particular sort of triangle, and the children might notice that they're right-angled triangles as an example. They're also isosceles triangles, which means that we have 2 sides that are the same length. So there are 2 different criteria that we can use to describe those triangles. One is that they're isosceles, the other is that they're right, but we could also refer to them as right-angle isosceles triangles. So that's just some of the language that happens here. We'll also notice some other language. All these triangles are similar. That is that they have the same shape, they're right-angle isosceles triangles, but the sizes are different, although they are in proportion to one another. Some of those triangles are congruent, and congruent means that they are the same size and the same shape. So there's an example of the ones that are congruent. So there's a lot of language to be developed from the use of tangrams before we do anything else. In the next little section we'll look at some of the area relationships.